Hi guys, I hope you guys are enjoying your break. I know I'm not. I'm enjoying drinking my tea though. Cheers. But I hope you guys are really enjoying your break. I hope you guys are wanting to come back to school. I hope you guys like this small project that I put together for you guys to learn how to sketch. I think that'll be great for you guys to further your creativity and your idea of working in creative fields in fashion as a stylist, as a costume designer, as a sketch artist, or just as somebody who comes up with good ideas for other brands. You can kind of do so many jobs in fashion. So I wanted to introduce you guys to this sketching project. I think it's a great way to get you guys started. I know a lot of you guys don't know how to sketch, but I want you to try, okay? I can hear you now. But Mr. D, it's hard. But Mr. D, I don't know how to do that. Well, you know how to do it. All it takes is a little bit of practice. You heard the saying before, practice makes perfect. Just like if you're doing anything else, some of the things that you love to do, just think about it. I'm sure you do a lot of it, of time. And that's why you're so good at it. So if you just practice what you're sketching, you'll become amazing at it. I'm not an amazing sketcher, but I'm a pretty good sketcher because I learned and I practiced when I was in college. And I still practice to this day. I still do my own sketches for my designs and all of that stuff. So I want you guys to do the same. All right? I don't want to make it too hard for you guys, but I want you guys to have fun with it. Now, I sent some of you guys the examples of what you could do, some of the things that you can use, like ketchup and mustard. You can use French fries. You can use cookies. You can use lettuce. You can use gloves. You can use newspaper. You can use regular paper. You can use so many different things that you can do. So I've put together a small example. The video is probably about 7 to 10 minutes or shorter. That'll pretty much show you how I did it. And how quickly I did it, how easy I did it, and just thinking about just the basic things I have around the house. So I want you guys to do the same thing. I hope all of you guys out there are staying quarantined, staying safe, wearing your masks, because we all need to wear our masks. Let's not forget. Don't forget to wear your mask every time you go outside, okay? Okay? Okay. So I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying clean. I hope you guys are staying sane. Because it's hard to stay in the house for the past 2 months like we all have. But, this will come to an end soon. And we all will be, able to enjoy our lives like we're used to. So I hope you guys enjoy this project. If you have any questions, you can always just email me or Miss Patrice or leave comments, and I'll respond to you guys and help you with whatever you need. And if it really needs some help, I'm okay with giving you guys my FaceTime, so you guys can FaceTime me if you want to talk or you need help. I'm here. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, your Thursday, and your Friday, and stay safe. Okay. So I'll see you guys soon, and I'll be looking forward to seeing those projects. All right, have a good day. Bye. Okay, hey guys. So this is the sketch part that I was telling you guys about. I sent you guys a video. This was the sketch that I sent. It showed you pretty much how to draw the human body at a fashion proportion. So you have all the numbers. I did mine's what we call a 9 head. I think the video I sent you guys was an 8 head, because I didn't want you guys to get too confused about how tall it should be. An 8 head is a bit more normal looking, but in fashion sketch, we usually sketch everything super tall, super slim in most cases. And yeah, so this is the body. This is my body. Now you can use this body to draw your sketch on. So this right here is what we call tracing paper. I have this. You might not have this, but you can totally just use a regular piece of white paper, put a white piece of paper on top of it, and then you draw the clothes on top of it. So it's kind of like this. I'll give you a small tutorial really quickly. I don't want to make it too long, but I'll show you really quickly. So I'll take this, My pad's got a little water spilt on it, a little water stain. So as you can see now, I can see the body from under this. So then I'll just take my pencil and pretty much I can just draw what I want to do. So I'm going to draw the head, trace the face, trace the neck, and I'm going to trace the shoulders because I'm going to do a dress. You kind of already have to know the design that you want to do, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. Designers, you know, we all have our own style. So I'm just going to pretty much draw the arms down and the head. And then I'm going to leave the legs because I'm doing a big dress. So because I'm doing a big dress, I want to leave the legs open because the legs are not going to be shown. So I'm just going to show the top. So from there, I can see her waist is here. Now the waist is where we usually want the smallest part, you know, to be nipped in, especially with women. So I'm going to draw a big gown kind of thing like that. Just, you know, over top of the legs. Now, the legs are under here, so they're not actually on this page. So I'm just going to draw the outline of the dress, right? And then for the top part, I'm just going to draw something around the top because I'm going to do something like that. But the most important thing is I want to keep the waist. You want to keep the waist because that's the part where you want to do. So then after that, since I know that the entire body is covered by the clothes or the dress or the garment, as we call it in fashion, you take and you just draw the arms. Trace the arms. Her arms are going straight down. And that's it. All right, so it's your choice to leave the body under the sketch so you can try to use it as a guide, or you can take it out. Now see, now you see I have just a woman with a plain dress on, right? So from there, I'm gonna take, now what I'm gonna use is paper. I'm going to use paper as my design on top of the dress. Now you can use whatever you want. You can use cookies, you can use pencils, you can use straws, you can use paper, you can use ketchup, you can use mustard, you can use anything that you want to use. It's all up to you. This is my sketchbook. I have a sketchbook, and this paper is like thick white paper. So I'm going to rip one sheet out, this book. All right, now what I want to do is I'm going to take this paper, and what I want to do is I want to pleat it. And what I mean by pleating is folding the paper. And this might take a little time. You want to try to do it as nice as possible. Now you could do thick folds like this. This is what we call pleating. Or you can do smaller folds. Now I'll show you what the smaller folds look like on this end. Now it's up to you because, again, you guys are designers. I want you guys to use your creativity, your imagination, and I want you to try your best to just make this cool. You know, get yourself into the mood of creating things. So, you know, by the time some of you get to high school or even now, you can be selling your own stuff on Instagram that you make. Like you might see, you know, some of your friends, some of your peers, or some of your family members that are designers or creators, and you gotta have time to practice and do things like this. So what I'm doing right here is I'm folding the paper, as you can see, pleating it evenly all the way through. And look, this is not taking that long. You just gotta be consistent. I know how a lot of you guys will probably be like, that's hard, Mr. D. No, it's not. I know you guys got this. A lot of you guys are very smart. Actually, all of you guys are very smart. Now, all of you guys have your own way of thinking and own, you know, creativity. So I want you to use it your way. If you want to use the paper, you can use the paper if that's all you have. It's all up to you. I'm leaving that all up to you. So now that I've folded most of this paper, I'm going to show you what it looks like after. And you're just going to keep going. Try to get it as even as you can. All right, so that's the last piece. So now I have that piece of paper that I just ripped out. Now, accordion pleated, as we call it, because it looks like an accordion. You guys seen those instruments? So now, what I'm going to do is I want to use this as the bottom part of the dress. You see that? Do you see how that is coming out? But what I want you guys to do is I want you to do it nicely. I don't want you to just put it on there. Like you see this edge here? Because this is the edge inside, I'm going to put that down so none of that shows, right? And then I'm going to put this edge down so none of that shows, right? And then we're going to glue all of that down like that so that becomes the bottom part of the dress. So let me get some tape, or you can use glue, and we'll see what it looks like. So first what we're going to do with our accordion pleats, now that we have the accordion pleats, you have your tape on deck. We got our tape ready and on deck. You're going to take your pleats, and what you want to do is you want to bunch them up at the tip of the paper to the size of the waist. Now, if you're doing a short dress, what you want to do is keep your sketch under and draw just the bottom part of the legs. And then when you put the skirt on and cut it, you'll see the bottom of the legs. But since I'm doing a big gown, you know, I'm going to show you guys how to do it if you're doing a gown. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece of tape. I got my piece of tape. Cut it. And what I want to do is what I want to start off with is the middle. So I'm going to fold this tape up like this. And I want to place it right there in the middle where the waist is supposed to be on the sketch. And then I'm going to take this piece of accordion pleats that I did. And I actually think I want to turn it this way. It looks better. So use your own judgment where it looks better at. And then I want to just place it right on top of that tape. But I don't want to place it where it's flat. It's going to mess up the pleats. So you got to keep the pleats intact. You see that? Like how I'm showing that she still has a waist. So now that I have the waist secure, I'm going to take and cut some more pieces of tape. And what I want to do is I'm going to take the side of this and I'm going to tape it down to follow the outline of the dress that I drew. Now, it doesn't have to follow it perfect, but you want to try to follow it for what you drew. And what you're going to do is you're going to tape on the first layer under. You see that first layer under? So that this pleat will hide it and you won't see it, all right? So now I'm going to do another piece of tape on this side. And again, you see that bottom pleat is kind of, you know, janky looking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it there in the place where you want it. On the first piece, put a piece of tape. All right. So now you see that it's already becoming a dress. Now, I do need to fix it right there. And those little details is what I want you guys to pay attention to. I want you guys to pay attention to those little details on how you can make it look better. Why? Because you're the artist. You're the one that's creating this thing. So I'm trusting your vision to put it together and make it look super duper cool, right? So bam, I already have the gown done. She looks like she have the bottom of her dress on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissor and I'm just going to cut just the top of this. Just so that the waist is like a little more cleaner. And again, I want you guys to use your judgment on what you think looks cool and what looks best, because why? You're the designer. All right. So now, as you can see, I still have, you know, the rest of her body to do. And, you know, we can still add color and the skin and draw hair and face if you want. And we'll get to that next. Right. But I like to decorate the clothes first and then figure out where I have to color after. All right. So now that I got the skirt done, what I want to do is I'm going to get another piece of paper out of my book. Now this time, I'm going to use something different just to switch up my design and make it look a little cooler. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper and I'll ball it up. See that? And this is just white paper. Now you can use newspaper, you can use magazine paper. I'm sure magazine paper will make this look super duper cool. If you get like some really cool prints from out of a magazine or something like that. So what I want to do now is I'm going to ball up this piece of paper. Now, I only need to cover just the top part of the dress. So I'm going to take a smaller piece. I'm going to ball it up even more because I want it to look super duper crinkly. You know, that's what we do as designers. Like, you make textures, you create things. And that's kind of what I'm going to do. All right, so this crinkled little paper is now going to become the top of her dress. Do you see that? How that is coming together? And if you just kind of ball it up to make it look cool, it just really looks really like artsy. You know what I mean? And so once I figure, okay, cool, that looks cool. I want her to have like this top that looks like it's like super cool and strapless and kind of has texture to it. That's why we added the wrinkle effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape, cut 2 big nice pieces of tape. Now you want to make sure you cut your tape so that it doesn't show. So whatever sizes you cut these pieces of tape, make sure that they will hide under these pieces. Now, since I pretty much pre-balled this up how I wanted it to be on there, I'm just going to leave it that way. And what I want to do is I'm going to put another piece at the bottom, directly close to the bottom, because you want that piece of tape at the bottom to hold on to the bottom of the dress. Now with the dress, you're going to just like make it look cool and flatten it enough that you can just kind of stick the top of the dress on, right? So I'm going to stick that on. It has tape. And what I want to do is I'm just going to finesse, and I know you guys know what finesse means. Finesse the rest of the top, and I'm just going to make it look more crinkly and more like art. And this is, again, guys, this is not hard for you to do. This is all easy. Now look at that. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. All right? She now is like about to go to a wedding. So now what I want to do is add some color. Now, you can draw your person or your model to be whatever skin tone you want. These are my markers. I know a lot of you guys don't have markers, but you have crayons or whatever. Whatever you have, you can use. This is usually like a skin tone. You know, this is usually like a skin tone. And so we usually use either one or the other, or you can use a combination of both. But what I'm going to use the darker tone because it's like closer to my skin color, and I want to draw somebody who's closer to my skin tone. So what I'm going to do first is the first thing I want to do is just really slightly, actually the first thing I want to do is I want to draw her some hair. Now, I just want her to have, like, since she's like in this kind of dress where she looks like she may be getting married, I want her hair to look very simple, and I want it to look cool to match the dress. So I'm going to draw her bangs. All right? And then we're going to draw her like a top knot. And then we're going to have like little pieces hanging down of hair. Hanging out, all right? Hanging down. All right, and for the eyes, I'm just going to draw, I like to draw just a line like that. And then for the mouth, you just draw like a little thing, just a little lips. And then for the nose, you just do like a little dash. And there you go. All right, so now you have her hair done. You have her lips drawn. You have her nose drawn. I'll move it closer so you see how that looks. So you see her nose, her eyes are just a dash. If you feel like you're good enough to draw eyes, I want you to give it a shot. The nose is just a dash. And then the lips is just a little peep. The lips don't have to be perfect. Again, none of this stuff has to be perfect. We're all designers and we all have our own artistic vision. So now I have her lips. So now what I'm going to do is we want to add color. So we're going to add color to our shoulders, add color to her face, and maybe add some color to her hair to really bring her to life. All right, so I'm going to take my brown marker. And we always like to test the marker on the side just to see how it looks. And I'll show you guys the other skin tone color. And maybe I'll use this one. This one looks more like a skin. So then what I'm going to do, as you can see, is I'm going to take my marker and I'm just going to gently, slightly just trace inside of her body to give her arms some color. You know, really gently. Don't go overboard. Don't start, you know, getting the color all on the clothes. Even though if you do, it's not that big of a deal. We're designers. You can always make it look artsy and cool again. All right, so now she has color on her shoulders. Now we're going to just gently go over her face. Now, we don't need to do the hair part because the hair is going to get colored by, black. So most of us have like what you call a collarbone right here. And you can look at your own self, and I'm sure you see it. So I'll just draw it in pencil a little bit just to add some shadow, what we call shadowing. That's a whole nother thing to teach you guys. Maybe we'll do it when school come back. And then I'm just going to take the marker of the same exact color. And this is the fine tip. I was using the fat tip at first. So now I'm using the fine tip. And what I'm going to do is just take the fine tip and just go over that little pencil mark that I drew to draw her collarbone, just to make it look more realistic. And if you want, you can take the same color and kind of draw her cheekbones to make it look like she has high cheekbones. And that's what we call like shading. So I'll do it with pencil first because pencil sometimes helps. And now you have a girl with a dress. She has a cute little wedding dress on, I'm going to call this. And then the last thing that we're going to add is hair. Well, or the color of the hair. So let me get my black so we can do the hair. So then I'll take my black. And I think I'll use the fine tip because I want the bangs of this to be, I want it to still look like a bangs. So I don't want it to look too like dark and heavy. So we're just going to draw some little hanging hairs, you know, and then we're going to draw her top knot. Her bangs. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it doesn't have to be super perfect. I want you guys to try to do as best as you can and just make it super cool. So I'm actually going to take the thicker tip now and I'm just going to kind of slightly go over it so you don't lose the texture that you drew with the thin side, but can still add it. So now it's turned into like this top knot kind of thing, which I like. All right, so once you do that, you can take your marker and draw her eye line back if you want, just to straighten off the bangs. And then there you go. And that's how you do a really quick, easy sketch using nothing but markers and something that you have at home. After you do that, I want you to write your signature. My name is D Shields. Deron Shields. Y'all know me as Mr. D. And then there you go. Write the date is May 2020. And now you have officially produced your first piece of fashion art. and you can hang that up. You can show your parents. You can do whatever you like. So I want to see yours, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys' sketches.